Hello friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS editorial analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any important concepts have come in the editorial and are important from exam point of view, we also discuss that. So let us begin today's editorial analysis. We have taken today's editorial from Indian Express and it has appeared on 6th of June. And the title of the editorial is Canberra Connect. It says Modi-Morrison summit has brought welcome progress on security cooperation field, but question marks still remain on trade field. Now let us look at its linkage with the UPSC syllabus. So it links directly with GS paper 2 where we have international relations as a major topic. And under this it links with the bilateral relations because it deals with India-Australia relations. So after establishing the linkage with the syllabus, let us move on to the key points of the editorial. Before starting with the key points, let us look at Australia on the map. So this is Australia and we can see here is India. And when we talk about the Indo-Pacific region, so here we have the Indian Ocean and here we have the Pacific. So when we talk about Indo-Pacific, it is dealing with this region. Now let us look at Australia's map in detail. So this is political map of Australia and here we can see the major cities of Australia, which are Brisbane, Sydney, Canberra, which is the capital of Australia, Melbourne and Perth. And most people in India are familiar with the cities in Australia because of the cricket matches. Now let us look at some of the important points about this virtual summit that was held between India and Australia. So through this virtual summit that was held between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Scott Morrison of Australia, the ties between India and Australia have been elevated to comprehensive strategic partnership. And 9 agreements have been signed between the two countries. And the most important among them is the Mutual Logistics Support Agreement, which will allow the navies of both India and Australia to cooperate closely and on reciprocal basis. They will be able to share the facilities of each other. And this Mutual Logistics Support Agreement will also allow India a strategic access deep into the Indo-Pacific region. And another important development through this virtual summit has been the 2+2 dialogue between India and Australia, which was at secretary level, has been elevated to the ministerial level. And here one thing to note is that India is having 2+2 dialogue with 3 countries. And earlier with Japan and United States, it was at ministerial level, and with Australia it was at secretary level. But now this has also been made into ministerial level. So now India has 3 2+2 dialogues with Japan, US and Australia. And all these 3 are at ministerial level. This is important from prelims point of view. During this summit, both India and Australia said that they share a vision of a free, open, inclusive and rules-based Indo-Pacific region. And they also support freedom of navigation, overflight and peaceful and cooperative use of the seas by adhering to international law, including United Nations Convention on Law of the Seas and peaceful resolution of disputes. Now, whenever such statements are made by India, Australia, US and other such countries, these are indirectly directed at China, which is accused by most of these countries of not adhering to a rule-based order and also violating the provisions of UN clause, especially through its activities in the South China Sea. And this virtual summit between India and Australia has come at a time when both are dealing with an aggressive China. India is dealing with border disputes with China in the Ladakh region, and Australia has been facing threat of economic actions against it for demanding international probe into the COVID-19 origins. So both India and Australia are facing the aggressive behavior by China, and this virtual summit has given them opportunity to frame out a joint strategy in dealing with an aggressive China. And Prime Minister Modi during the summit said that India-Australia relations have deepened over the years, and this depth comes from their shared values, interests, geography and objectives. This can be remembered by the acronym GOVI. So India and Australia have shared geography, objectives, values and interests. And India has promised to assist Australia in space program, while India will import strategic minerals like lithium and cobalt, which are abundantly found in Australia. Now let us see this mutual logistics support agreement. And here we should know that India has signed similar logistics support agreement with United States, France, South Korea and Singapore. With US it is very famous, the LEMOA, Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, and it was signed in 2016. Now this mutual logistics support agreement with Australia will enable Indian warships to get refueling from Australian tankers while on the high seas, while also availing facilities like berthing, maintenance and storage at Australian naval bases on reciprocal basis. So India will also be extending these facilities to the Australian Navy. And here we should know that these pacts between India and Australia are crucial for India because India has been facing this strings of pearl strategy by China, whereby it is believed by experts that China is building naval bases to surround India. And here we should know that China is building ports in Myanmar, in Sitwe, in Bangladesh, in Hambantota in Sri Lanka, and in Gwadar in Pakistan. So this string of pearls kind of theory is being floated that it is the design of China to contain India. So these kind of logistics agreements are very critical for India in the backdrop of China's expanding its strategic footprint in the Indian Ocean region. And China has also started its first overseas military base at Djibouti, which became operational in 2017. So China's ambitions in the Indian Ocean region, they need to be checked by India, and India has to enter into such logistics agreement with like-minded countries. And what goes in favor of India and Australia entering into such agreement is that both India and Australia are two democracies which understand each other's perspectives on regional and global issues. And also defense and maritime security cooperation remain a key area of convergence between the two countries. And one important fact from prelims point of view is that India and Australia held their first bilateral naval exercise AUSINDEX in 2015. After having this background about India-Australia Virtual Summit, now let us look at the key points of the editorial. So the editorial talks about the Modi-Morrison Summit, and it says that welcome progress has been made on security cooperation, but question marks still remain on the trade relation between India and Australia. And in India, the image of Australia is basically of a cricket playing nation, and many Indians go to Australia for education and for visiting the tourist sites in Australia, as it is a major tourist destination. And India and Australia share many common things like the use of English language, the political values between the two countries where both follow democracy and are having cabinet form of government. But the relations have remained low-key over a long period of time. And it is only in the last decade that there has been steady improvement in the relations. And this improvement in relation has been both in the quality and the intensity of engagement between the two countries. And this engagement has spanned across political, commercial, cultural, educational, and technological fields. An important point that the editorial tells us is that there is a huge Indian diaspora which has helped in the increasing exchange between the two countries. And this Indian diaspora is estimated to be around 7 lakh strong. And this is very significant when we consider the total population of Australia, which is only around 25 million. And also the Indian diaspora is the fastest growing ethnic minority in Australia. The editorial also says that after Prime Minister Modi's visit in 2014, the engagement between the two countries have picked up substantially. And the last visit before Prime Minister Modi visited Australia was the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's visit in 1986. And in between, there was no high level visit from India. And this visit of Prime Minister Modi has also signaled India's new commitment to end political indifference shown towards Australia. And here we should know about middle powers. Now Australia is called a middle power, and countries like US and other P5 members are known as great powers. So India's foreign policy has always been tilted towards having good relations with these great powers, and India has also been caught up in its neighborhood. where it has hostile neighbors in China and Pakistan. So India's foreign policy has totally ignored the middle power countries like Australia. But now this is changing. And this is very important because these middle power countries hold the key to the upcoming geopolitical changes in the world. So it is high time that India starts managing its relations with these middle powers in a more substantial and significant manner. And as we have seen that the strategic partnership has been elevated in this virtual summit between the two countries, and the major thrust has been between defense and security cooperation. And the reason for this is not difficult to seek because both countries, India and Australia, they are wary of the muscular assertiveness of a rising China, and also they are unsure about the American role in the region because after President Trump has come to power, America has been isolating itself from such regions and it is focused on its America First policy. So, under these circumstances, it has become compelling for most Asian middle powers to ensure against the new dangers by enhancing mutual cooperation. And both India and Australia recognize this and they have been stepping up their strategic collaboration with other key nations in the region, which include Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, and Vietnam. And the editorial says that it was a matter of time before both nations elevated their own bilateral security cooperation, which has now happened after this virtual summit. And the major highlight of this summit has been that both countries have shared vision for securing the troubled waters of Indo-Pacific, and they have entered into a mutual logistics support agreement. This agreement we have seen earlier, so it basically offers the reciprocal access to each other's military facilities and it facilitates seamless cooperation across the high seas between the two navies. And the third important agreement has been for cooperation in cyber and cyber enabled critical technology domains because this is also an increasing area of concern for all the countries. The editorial also points to a big challenge in the India Australia relations, and that challenge comes from the trade relations. Now, security domain, the relations between India and Australia have been very good and they have been improving all the time. But in trade, we see that the relations have a lot of potential which has not been realized. And there is also a gap and a big gap on the view about regional trade agreements. For example, if we take RCEP, which is the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement initiated by the ASEAN countries. Now, Australia has said yes to the RCEP and it is one of the major proponents of this. But India, on the other hand, has declined to be part of it because of concerns basically involving China. And the editorial also says that India and Australia have agreed to restart their stalled negotiations on bilateral trade. And the bilateral trade between the two countries is around $30 billion. Editorial further says that India has a problem that it must address, and which is that India has declared its interest in negotiating bilateral trade deals with like-minded countries like US and other European nations and also Australia. But so far India has been unable to wrap up any bilateral trade negotiation in recent times, and this actually casts a dark shadow over its vigorous security diplomacy because India has been successful in negotiating security agreements with all the major countries. But when it comes to trade, India has been dragging its feet. So that is where a lot of improvement on India's part is needed because in present times, in present geopolitical situation, because in present times, economy is a major part of relations between the countries. And we cannot just keep on having security agreements with different countries without having simultaneously trade agreements as well. So that is where India needs to work on its part. And here the editorial points to some concerns which India is facing. And the first concern is the failure to revive domestic economy, which even before the COVID-19 pandemic was going through a period of prolonged slowdown. And there has also been confusing political rhetoric on the self-reliance or Atmanirbhar Abhiyan. And the third important factor is the ambivalent trade posture shown by India while entering into trade negotiations. So that also needs to be changed by the Indian government because these three factors they threaten to undermine the possibilities of expanding India's strategic partnerships across the Indo-Pacific and beyond. And that is something that India must address at the earliest. So these were all the key points of the editorial. Now let us look at what kind of questions can be asked in prelims and mains related to the subject matter of this editorial. So in prelims, one can be asked about the first virtual summit. It was held between which two countries? So India and Australia. Then you can be asked about the various military and naval exercises between India and Australia. So OS Index is one of the important exercise. Then one exercise is Pitch Black. So about Pitch Black, one should know that it's a biennial exercise, that is, it is held once in 2 years by the Royal Australian Air Force. And then a question can also be asked about this MLSA, which is the Mutual Logistics Support Agreement, and also about LIMOA. Then there can be a question on 2+2 dialogue as well, with which three countries now India has this dialogue and at what level. So with all these three countries, US, Japan and Australia, it has 2+2 dialogue at ministerial level. And when we come to mains, a question can be asked on India-Australia bilateral relationship. What are the opportunities and challenges that this relationship faces? And what is the China factor in the relations? And one should also be prepared on this defense and security aspect of this bilateral relationship and the challenges on the trade front between the two countries. And a question can also be asked on this Quad grouping, which involves India, Australia, US and Japan. And it is seen as a counter to China. And also about the proposed G11 and how they will impact the security dimensions in Indo-Pacific. So these are the kind of questions on which you should be prepared. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.